for any of you, and I'm talking to you, yeah, that has left this comment, I want you
He's rattled.
slide into my DMs. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I want you to explain to me, why is the assumption immediately that if you take football seriously and want to do well at it, why does that immediately mean that the coach doesn't want it to be fun, that training sessions aren't fun, that no one's having fun? This is absolute nonsense. Like the idea, the main reason behind doing it is to make it more fun, right? What is going through your head when you read some of those comments?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I know we're very open about this. Is if your kid or you as a parent want your kid to really progress and push on and go to the maximum of their ability, that is absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I don't understand it. But on the other way, if you're not fussed about that, or your kid's not fussed about that, and you got those parents that are pushing them, and it's like a push-pull thing, I don't necessarily agree with that. If your kid's really against it, he's not having fun, and you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, that's when things go too far. And I think a lot of those comments, they'll think of a situation where maybe that's happened to them, or they've seen that happen with others, or they just think of this story in their head of that scenario, and they think everything is like that, and it's not. Kids, there's a lot of kids out there that will want to push themselves to the maximum, and they have this.
And they find that fun.
And they find it fun, exactly.
That doesn't mean because that they want to do that it's no longer fun. And it also, of course, please stop putting in the comments, it should just be for fun. Yes! Yeah. Why are any of us here? Why are any of us here other than for it to be fun?
Yeah.
Like I said it last week. It's like being at a Jeremy Kyle show and shouting out, "You shouldn't abandon children." Yes, well done. Thank you for your fantastic analysis and insight. We get it. It is for fun. I'm having fun now getting angry. Okay? For the love of God, stop telling me it's meant to be for fun. We that's the number one priority, right?
But do you know what it probably is? When you look at social media and topics like this with kids football, because this is the whole reason we started this, right? It's all very polished. It's all very one end of the spectrum, which is academy football, the elite level, right? Which is when you can teeter on into this territory of pushing them too hard and giving them too much pressure. And
absolutely.
And that's when kids can like fall out of love. And you hear countless stories of kids doing that. We're not at that.
No, we're not
that.
saying that. But this is why. Like, I totally agree with you. Like, if you're like being super intense with your kid, they're crying, they don't enjoy it, like you're on their case, you're forcing them to go training. Basically sounds like 7 days a week in my house.
You started to unravel there, didn't you?
I was listening back to it going, this really sounds like what it's like at my house. No, but if that's the case, we get it. Like if your kid is like struggling because you're taking it too intensely, but we assume that we understand the nuance and context of that. Like, my son doesn't do any of the training. He doesn't want to. He wants to do it because, and this is the other thing I don't get. Football, there's two things. Like when people say, oh, coaching, you're over coaching them. Again, why is that the assumption? We had a great chat with Neil Harris, 21 years at Man United. He's been on the show. And he was like, coaching isn't about standing over a player and like trying to control them, like take this pass here, take this touch there. Coaching is creating an environment. Mm-hmm. So if a kid is good, the job is not to like coaching. Part of coaching, what falls under the umbrella of coaching, is create an environment where that kid flourishes, where that kid is challenged, where that kid is having fun. That doesn't mean you're standing over that kid going, I want you to do, like, you're making everything really structured and you're being really restrictive. And it's the same for a kid that's struggling. You're creating an environment where that kid can flourish and have fun. That is what we are saying. That doesn't mean you have to push them. And the other thing I don't understand is, like, you study at school, you do the subjects multiple times a week, right? You get better at it. So why do we, like, when we talk about school, we want them to do something more than once a week so they get better at it. But when we talk about sport, the immediate assumption is if they do it more than once a week, it's no longer fun. I don't understand that. And the other thing I don't get is all the time people are going, kids are on screens too much, So we do sport. And by the way, what is mad, if you said that kid played football at school every single day in the playground, would we be talking about this? No, but because we're talking about doing a training session, the assumption is
coaching.
Yeah. So they're not on screens, they're not on phones. They're having social interactions. They're learning about being in a team. They're creating relationships. All of this is all really positive. But we're going to say they are not having fun because you are taking it seriously. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I get it. And then this fella, right? And if you're listening, I can't tell you how much this got in my head, right? Well, you said Ronaldinho wasn't coached. Number one, yes, he was. Okay.
Yeah.
He was in teams from a young age. And again, I bet the coach created an environment for him to flourish.
Yeah.
And also, do you think Ronaldinho is one in billions? Yeah. He's literally one in billions, one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah, of course you don't coach him, right? But most kids aren't as good as him.
God, what are you drinking?
No, honestly.
Stella last week made you clumsy. This one's making you aggressive. San Miguel.
I listen to some of these messages. I read some of these messages and I just think like, and also people going, if the coach isn't getting better in that session, he's not. Of course, you get better by doing it once a week, but if you do it 4 times a week, you're going to get even better. Yeah. Kids, and also if you have more success and you're improving and you get better, is that fun, Michael?
I don't know, mate. You're making me sweat.
I know this is fun. I'm going to go out on the pitch and be crap.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's not fun, is it?
No. But this is it. It's all the analogies. I think a lot of the comments were when you did the dieting one. Yeah. It wasn't like if you don't diet or if you diet once a week, right? That was the whole thing. Yeah. If you diet once a week, do you expect to lose a load of weight if you eat crap for the rest of the week? But then I guess some of the comments were a bit like, not training isn't you're being crap. You're just doing the wrong habit.
I don't understand that.
I know it's like people just drill into it in such a specific way. It's quite open ended. It's 2 ways. It's like, okay, if you train once a week, you'll probably get a little bit better. You'll probably improve at some point, but really, it's not going to make too much of a difference. That was the whole point of it, right? But if you train once a week and that's the only training session you get with a coach, fine. But you've got to be doing something else yourself if you want to get better. If you don't want to get better, fine. Yeah. You don't have to.
This is what I'm saying. It's like they think that we are literally like knocking on people's houses like...
What's he doing in there? What's he doing in there? Oh, he's on the sofa.
He's getting crap. He's getting worse. He's getting worse. Playing football is fun.
I know.
I just don't get it.